Ooh! Finally, Alpha tossed her gun onto the pavement and held up both hands in surrender? Wait a second. Stanley wasted no time springing forward to secure her. He gave her a thorough pat down from behind. Whoa. Stanley, man. He removed a small device that looked like a detonator from one of her pockets. On your knees. Alpha did as she was told. I doubt it's over with that. Good. Now, hands behind your head. Try anything funny and I will shoot. Without a word, Alpha placed her hands on the back of her head, fingers laced together. What are you playing at? Stanley growled disdainfully. Finally realized you can only push your luck so far. She responded with a faint snicker. Yet again. It's not my policy to resist when things are hopeless. Her tone was detached, intentions unreadable. Good. That'll make this easy. Stanley kept the barrel of his gun pointed at Alfred's head. This is for my brother. The words hung in his throat, unspoken. A surge of emotion coursed through him. Just a tiny bit more pressure from his index finger, and he could put a bullet right through Alfred's head. Whoa, right through the mastermind, literally. His long journey would finally reach its conclusion. But although he had wished for this moment more than anything, his finger did not move. If he pulled the trigger now, would that truly be the end? Stop thinking, Stanley, and do something. His mind reeled at the implications. Tateno watched Stanley closely, eventually letting out a tiny sigh of relief. They were in this together after all. Now they just needed to be careful not to let down their guard. He kept one eye on Alfred as he went to pick up the gun she discarded. But he was too late. The gun was gone. How? Oh, Jesus! Maria, how? This is for Canaan. Shooting Stanley accidentally, I guess. Maria had lunged forward, snatching up the gun. Maria, no! Osava cried. What are you thinking? She ignored her father, taking aim at Alfred's forehead. Just push it right in her mouth, and then press the trigger. Cannon's dead. And you're gonna pay. The smoldering rage she'd fought to hold back blazed up with renewed fury. This is a beautiful picture, though. Maria, Stanley said calmly. Put down the gun. He had nothing but words to stop her. There was no telling what Alfred might do if he took his gun off her. What will this accomplish? He asked, keeping his tone as level as possible. Let me do it, please. Maria's face remained awash with anger. Maria, her father pleaded. Please, don't do this. Tateno took a step forward. Come on, hand me the gun, he said. Stay back. Maria's arm trembled as she aimed the gun. Fucking hell. Everyone stood frozen, not even daring to breathe. The slightest wrong move might bring disaster. The silence roared. I don't care, Alfred sneered. If you want to shoot, then shoot. Fuck, her acting in this is superb. Look at her. She is really... I mean, either the actress was crazy as well, or she was just really into that role. This is amazing. You do want to avenge Canaan, don't you? And this is only pictures, you know. I wish we would have this on a full feature film or something, or maybe a series. Yes, I do. Maria tightened her grip on the gun. Memories of a friend drifted through her mind. To Maria, born into peace, meeting Canaan had been like touching a world beyond her own, a far more complicated world. I wish we could see her. Canaan had blood on her hands from the time she was a little girl. A walking contradiction of cruelty and childishness. And yet, she had lived her life according to her own unshakable beliefs. Meeting her had made Maria think hard about her own identity. Is this Canaan? What did it mean to be Japanese? No, that was the question. What does this have to do with being Japanese? What did it mean to be Maria Zava? Okay, that's better. That was the crux of it all. They had been able to find common ground, despite differing ideals, because both possessed an unshakable sense of self. The tense equilibrium came crashing down as Maria let out a shout. This is for Canaan! She pulled the trigger, but a shot went wide, shattering the window of a nearby car. The sudden gunshot caught Stanley off guard. Alpha didn't miss her opening. She rolled swiftly across the pavement, drawing the small pistol she'd hidden in an ankle holster. Maria hastily tried to aim for a second shot. How? No. Osawa, no. Fuck, Osawa, no. Dad? Osawa collapsed at Maria's feet. Why couldn't it hit fucking Tateno or something? Dad? Her father went limp. Why aren't they shooting at her now? Stanley dived at Alfred. He grabbed hold of her right wrist, the one clutching the gun, and slammed her head down hard against the pavement. Well, guess she's got brain damage now. She made no attempt to resist. In a moment he had subdued her. Maria, you're not hurt, are you? Osawa croaked feebly as his daughter gathered him up in her arms. Fuck you, Maria, this is your fault. And I never thought I would say fuck you, Maria. I'm fine. But Dad, your... Blood was gushing through Osawa's shirt. Maria pressed her hand against the wound, but the bleeding wouldn't stop. Look, just hurry. Get here as fast as you can. Tateno was on his cell phone calling for an ambulance. Wow, I mean, Tateno is really smart. He's fucking quick-witted for a dude riddled with PTSD. I know there's a traffic jam. Just figure something out, please. His voice was ragged with desperation. Dad, hang in there. Large tears streamed from Maria's eyes. So this is what it's like. Osawa lay with his head in his daughter's lap, struggling to rasp out his words. My body just reacted before I had any time to think. I finally understand what a virus must feel like. His eyes were hollow. I never told you, Anatomy, did I? About what started my fascination with virus research. Dad, try not to talk right now. Maria squeezed her father's hand. Almost imperceptibly, he squeezed back. It probably isn't a very interesting story, he said. But I'd like for you both to hear it anyway. I know, and we will. After this, I promise we will. Maria's words brought a contented smile to Osawa's face. I'm glad. So glad. It's alright, just don't talk right now. This time, at least, I was there for you. Osawa slowly shut his eyes. Dad? Maria said, but her father didn't answer. Dad, don't die. You can't die. The sound of ambulance sirens wailed in the distance. Maria clutched her father's hand, trying to make her grip firm and reassuring, just as his had been for her back inside the laboratory. Please, don't die. She repeated the words inwardly, over and over and over. A black car, foreign make, arrived at the laboratory and pulled up to the curb. Stanley's superior, Gordon, emerged from the back. A few of his men followed and promptly placed Alfred in handcuffs. Well done, Gordon said. Stanley gave him a slight nod. I'll be taking Alfred back to the headquarters. You can finish up here. Understood, sir. Gordon shoved Alfred into the back seat and slid in alongside her, and the car drove off. What if they are... What if they are in cahoots with her? I just... You know... Word on the street is that she's working with the CIA, or has people in the CIA. What if Stanley's superior is directly working with her? Stanley would have given her... I mean, fuck me. Who is that just now? Tateno asked Stanley. My boss. Sorry, but we'll be taking Alfred into custody. You will, huh? Tateno frowned, but decided not to press the point. The ambulance arrived at last, and Osawa was loaded inside. Maria remained at his side, still weeping, still softly calling out to him. He could sense her there, though her voice sounded awfully far away. Is this the end? Wait. Wait. Is this the end then? He was vaguely aware that he was dying, but he was not afraid. At the far end of a hazy tunnel, he could still see Maria. My, she had grown. She had grown so very much. If he were an organism that multiplied by dividing itself, he would die knowing that he had left his best selves behind. He had only one wish now, that Maria and Hitomi would go on to lead happy lives. His vision was growing steadily more dim. Tiny motes of light flickered and wavered faintly before his eyes, It looked a lot like the very first time he had ever peered through a microscope. And that was enough for him. Unexpectedly, Maria's cell phone rang in Stanley's pocket. He'd meant to give it back to her, but the ambulance had already departed. The phone continued to ring for some time, but eventually fell into a death-like silence. Who was that? Then who was phone? Shortly after midnight. 2 minutes after midnight, precisely. Or maybe this is 2 seconds left in the bomb? Okay, it's 2 seconds left for the bomb. Archie held his breath. He could no longer feel the seconds ticking by. The numbers on the display were changing more and more slowly, but still he watched in fear. 2 seconds. It was impossible not to fixate on the countdown. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Wait, 2 seconds. Kano and Archie continued to stare at the timer. 2 seconds. It had stopped. The timer had actually stopped. We did it! Yatta! Archie dropped to his knees with a cry of triumph. You know, I would still try to evacuate the place, but alright, you do you. The rest of the Shibuya Scramble burst into cheers. You're one reckless guy, you know that? Kano held his hand out. Archie grinned up at him. That makes 2 of us! The two clasped hands firmly. Where's my boy Minarikawa? The handshake conveying more than any words could have. Archie! Oh, Archie! Suzumu came rushing over. I thought it would be Hitomi, sorry. You did it, man. I knew you could do it. The two bumped fists. It weren't just me, Archie said. Could never have done it without you guys' help. Suzumu smiled bashfully. What's going on with his right arm, by the way? Do you see that? Oh, this is his right arm. Okay, his fucking jacket looks weird. Hey, Suzumu, take care of SOS for me. You got it. Suzumu looked him squarely in the eye. Archie gave a little nod and the two solemnly bumped fists again. Oh, there we are. Suddenly there was a blinding flash. Archie spun around to see Chiaki standing there, beaming happily, a digital camera ready for another shot. Hey everyone, get up! Minarikawa called out to Archie and his pals. You guys are the heroes of Shibuya! Photo time, everyone, Chiaki said. Get ready! The young men struck a pose together. Wait, her too! Minarikawa ushered Hitomi over to stand with Archie. Hitomi! Archie stared at her shyly. It was all thanks to Hitomi that he'd been able to do what he had done. Keeping Shibuya safe, keeping his promise to Suzune. Hitomi had been his inspiration for it all. There were so many things he wanted to say, but he couldn't get the right words out. Damn, Hitomi looks really good in this shot. I really like the Himekata thing. Archie, Hitomi's cheeks were damp with tears. Hey now, little lady, Minarikawa called. No crying now. Come on, show us a smile. Struck a goofy pose beside Chiaki. At last, the smile returned to Hitomi's face. Yeah, I get it. It really is the best. Hitomi looked up at Archie. Oh, it really is the best. Hitomi looked up at Archie in confusion. That's what. Oh, fuck me. Your smile, he said. It's the best. I don't care what anyone else says. He spoke so earnestly that Hitomi couldn't help but smile even more. That's cute. Okay, here we go, people. Get your best faces on. Oh, get your best faces on. It's Minarikawa. Sometimes I can't tell who's talking, okay? I'm sorry. At Minarikawa's signal, everyone let out a joyous victory cry. Ah, this is a authentic picture. I like that. You know, this is... It makes me feel warmness right here, pointing at my heart right now. Come on, guys, Suzumu shouted. Let's lift Archie up where everyone can see him. The members of SOS let out another roar. Huh? No, you don't gotta do that, guys. Hey, cut it out. But Archie had already been swallowed by the enthusiastic throng. Heave-ho! Heave-ho! Heave-ho-ho-ho! Ah, Kano. There in the middle of the scramble, Archie was being hailed as a hero. Kano looked on with a satisfied smile. What they had achieved together was nothing less than a miracle. It had taken a lot of luck, and more than a few coincidences, for them to stop the bomb. Coincidences? Kano muttered to himself. No. That wasn't right. This was something different altogether. Fate, that's what it was. And not just one person's fate. The destinies of several people had collided, gathering momentum until coincidence became inevitability. And Shibuya was saved. The raucous crowd tossed a chi high into the air again and again. As a plainclothes detective, Kano would probably never be showered with adulation quite like that. I mean, he basically held us all together, didn't he? Well, that was alright. A detective's duty was to ensure the safety of the people. Yeah, he's a hero every day, actually. He didn't put his life on the line so that he could be a hero. Just seeing all those smiles, that was good enough for him. Good on you, Kano. Good on you. Kano only needed the approval of one person, and that was Rumi. Possibly also her father. Rumi, I hope she managed to get out of Shibuya okay. Suddenly worried, Kano pulled out his cell phone. There were a whole bunch of things he wanted to tell her. He couldn't share the whole story. Police rules wouldn't allow it, but he wanted to let her know as much as he could. That the kidnapping case had been resolved safely, for instance. That he'd learned about the tortured past of the detective he so admired. That his partner was going to pull through. That he'd managed to finally talk to her father. That he'd put his life on the line to save Shibuya from danger. Man, Kano had a hard life. Rumi would listen quietly to the very end, and then, Kano thought, he knew just what she'd say. Short and sweet. And that gentle voice of hers. Good job. Literally dancing right now, by the way. Holy shit. There we go. The credits. What interests me the most? Probably is Alfred or Canon? Tiki Williams and Cindy Johnson, okay. Also, I should have paid attention if Hitomi and Maria are siblings in real life. Yeah, they are actual siblings. Both have the last name Kono. Oh, that's amazing. They look kind of alike, so I guess it makes sense. Man, there's a lot of people in this game, right? Oh, I love this music track, by the way. Aya Kamika is herself. Okay. Oh, I remember the scene with the little kids. Yukinori Kitajima. It was a really good story overall. The only thing holding this game back was kinda the clunkiness of going through it, I think. But the story was amazing. It started kind of weird and then went lighthearted with the whole Tama stuff and Yanagashita and some of the Kachiwara stuff, and I don't know, even Kano had some really weird scenes, but damn, overall it was a nice little detective story, where you didn't have to put too much together since stuff just fell into place mostly, and the only mystery was really, who is Alfred and why is he doing this? And I guess we got all the answers in the end. I would like to be interested if there's different endings for this or not. I guess they are. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Maybe if this is not the true end, I'm gonna record another video where I'm going through the true end or something. Because I don't know if anyone's even really interested in this game, but I started recording it, I started playing it, I started uploading it, which means I'm gonna go through with it. As usual though, it could be that I'm not uploading an alternate ending and just go with the one I hit on my first try, because I like to think that this is canon. Every time I play a game with different endings, if the ending isn't too bad or flat out a bad end, I like to think that this is how it ended for the protagonists. True end or not, sometimes life doesn't all end in fun and games, I guess, and flowers and beautiful unicorns. No, sometimes your father gets shot, dies on the way to the hospital, and your best friend gets killed. Fuck. Man, Maria hit it the hardest out of all of them, right? She's the only one that actually lost people. Jesus. And what happened to Suzune? Achi's little sister. I severely hope there's a real epilogue after the credits now. Otherwise I will be unhappy. Because there's some loose ends left, I think. I bet I didn't think that her man would die a few hours later. Jesus Christ, Isara. Also, Hitomi, she doesn't even know yet that her father is dead. Jesus! Here we go. And this is definitely the scene where Alphard is getting out of custody. Because Gordon, and I'm calling it now, is her underling. Gordon and Alphard sat in the back seat as the car sped along the highway. Here. Gordon tossed the handcuff key onto the seat beside him. What happened down at the scramble? Alphard asked, picking up the key and unlocking her cuffs. Lord Palmer was arrested by the Japanese police, and the bomb at the attached case was defused apparently. Still, Palmer shouldn't pose a problem once we get him into CIA custody. I see. Much obliged. You really got yourself backed into a corner though, didn't you? Gordon said. Yeah, I was only able to accomplish half of what I intended. Half? Alfred produced a vial from her pocket. It was filled with red liquid. Is that Hitomi's blood? Gordon asked. Indeed. I managed to acquire the antiviral. But when? Gordon peered at her in bewilderment. When I blew up the minivan. Oh, fuck, she had it all along! Oh my god! Of course! She didn't need to do any of that. Why did she do that then? In the dim light of the vehicle, Alfred's eyes shone darkly like those of a wounded animal. Extracting the blood from Hitomi while she was unconscious had been a simple matter. Saving the girl's life had been more than just a means of ensuring her trust. Alfred had been looking for the right moment to carry out the extraction. Total secrecy was essential. If it became public knowledge that the drug existed, and that some of it had been stolen, the value of the UA virus would plummet, so she chose to leave them thinking that she doesn't have it. Jesus Christ. This is a 500 IQ play. Our primary objective here was to destroy that research facility. Still, getting our hands on the antiviral is better than nothing. Is she working for the American government? Well done as always, Alfred. Gordon's hard expression softened, but Alfred was in no mood to return a smile. If Maria Zawa had remained inside the facility, her plan would have succeeded, because no one else would have had the chance to extract it then, or what? Everything else up until that point had gone off without a hitch. The one thing Alfred hadn't anticipated was Maria bringing the bomb outside. She had injected Maria with a knockout drug back at Enway Electronics that should have kept her from moving around for a while, even after she'd regained consciousness. Oh. And in any case, she wouldn't have expected the girl to just march into the midst of an armed standoff. Okay, she had been certain that Maria would never leave the lab. She had misjudged how strong the girl's feelings for Kanan were. Maria's body had been put into a state of torpor. There were a bunch of people pointing guns at each other, and still she had been undeterred. Alfred's plan had hinged on Maria's relationship with Kanan, and, ironically, that same relationship had made the plan fall apart. It was true that she'd accomplished half of her goals, but Alfred still couldn't shake a sense of failure. She softly bit her lip as she gazed out through the car window. The bright windows of a few buildings shone out in the midst of the otherwise darkened city. A group of tiny lights that refused to be washed out by the darkness. The end. Damn. I don't know if this is the good end now. Honestly, what the fuck? I'm gonna have to look this up. For now, I'm gonna leave you with that, and thank you for watching this. Thank you for going through this with me. I think this is Jesus Christ, how many parts will there be? Probably 85 or something? Wait, what's that? White bookmark. What does this mean, game? What's a white bookmark? Maybe it tells me what this is. Ah, oh, Jesus, it goes on! Suzune, is that you? What is that? You'll find a match soon. I want to be a strong person. Is this a trailer for another game? Seriously, advertising? Please be happy for me. It's really loud. Heartbeat. Well, here you go. Offspring. Play it now. In your local stores. Bonus content added to the title screen. Fuck yes. Okay. Previews added to bonus content. Okay. Suzune preview added to bonus content. What is going on? 428 pop quiz added to bonus content. Saving system data. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I can finally end, I think. So, maybe until next time, maybe I'm gonna start a new series or continue an old one, Umineko, or maybe Your Turn to Die. I don't know. By the point you see this video, I will have decided already though. Still, feel free to make some suggestions. Bye.